Hey, what's up guys, Cliff here once again and welcome back to Overwatch. I haven't been covering any news related topics in a long time simply because it is a very oversaturated market here on YouTube and there are tons of YouTubers that jump on stuff like that in the second it is announced anyway. But since I feel like I developed a bit of a reputation for making ranked related content for the most part, I felt that covering this would be a good idea for everyone who is actually waiting for me to talk about this in particular. So this is gonna be a short video covering the changes we're facing in the ranked season 4, which is a welcome change of pace for me personally. God knows I could use a couple easy to make videos after the last few big projects that took me so much time to make. Now without further ado, let's get right into it. Kicking things off with the, for me, most significant change to ranked decay. Some of you might remember that I talked about only playing once a week in season 3 after I got bored of the tank meta. Well, that sort of thing is gonna be a tad bit more difficult now. This season, players with a skill rating above 3000 will need to complete at least 7 games per week, a change that will improve the accuracy of the player's skill rating, make maintaining multiple high-level accounts more difficult, and make upper tier placement more meaningful. So the way this works is that every match you complete in a week pushes the decay back by 24 hours, meaning you could play just one match per day, or you could play all 7 of them in one day and then chill until next week. Now when it comes to my opinion, I'm a little bit split on this matter. For one thing, I can perfectly understand why they did it. Ranked is supposed to be for active competition, not to sit on your rank and then brag about it. Furthermore, anything that gives the matchmaking system more information to match and place us more accurately is, in my opinion, a good thing. But as someone who enjoys playing a variety of games besides Overwatch, and as someone who also has to run a YouTube channel, this could turn out to be a little problematic. It's not like this is the end of the world. It definitely encourages me to stream more regularly on my old account to maintain my diamond rating, and last season we've been putting up a good fight with a pretty decent climb, so maybe this is gonna help me get better as a flex player as well. As for my main account in Masters, I genuinely hope that this helps improve the general quality of matches, because if it does, I'd have no problem playing those 7 matches a week, and hell, even much more than that. But let's move on to the next change. This one is kinda funny to me. They talk about the skill rating and placement match changes they did in the last season and how they're extremely happy with the outcome, which is something I would agree with. I too feel like those changes helped a ton for the overall quality of matches. But it seems like there was a problem in the low end of the spectrum that I wasn't quite aware of. Some players, for instance, have been deliberately throwing matches in an effort to reach the lowest attainable skill rating. We obviously don't want to incentivize this behavior because competitive play works best when everybody is trying. So we're making it a little more difficult to hit the lowest and highest possible ratings of 0 and 5000. We are also no longer displaying skill rating values that are lower than 500. This change will have no effect for players who have a skill rating between 500 and 4500. Now this is something that I can imagine YouTubers and streamers do just for the sake of it, and I understand that they don't want that to happen, but quite frankly I don't think that this is going to stop anyone who really wants to do it. If nothing else, they're just gonna stop at 500. What are you gonna do next time? Not display the rating until they hit a 1000 SR? Either way, I do not like people throwing their matches to D rank, and if that makes it so less people do it, then go for it. Now here's a change that most of us don't have to care about. Top 500 rewards will only be given to players who are still in the top 500 leaderboard at the end of the season. This is to incentivize players maintaining their rank to create more and more balanced matches in the high end of the ladder. I completely agree with this. I think it's been frustrating for Grandmaster players to be matched up with Masters and Diamonds because there just weren't enough players actively maintaining their GM rank since, well, they already got what they wanted. I do hope that they succeed and that this does create more competition in the high end. And lastly, quite a significant change to the respawn mechanic. This season we have implemented a respawn time delay, which is activated when the attackers outnumber the defenders on the contested point. If the point hasn't been captured and the defense hasn't regained the advantage after a specified time, the defender respawn timer will slowly begin to increase until it hits a maximum value. If the defense manages to gain the upper hand, the timer resets to 0. Now this is really interesting because I think it is a direct response to stall tactics in general and the 2CP disaster in particular. Until now, it was enough for a single player to be on the point to stop the attacks from capping any further while that player waits for their team to respawn. They would keep doing that until overtime hits, which is where they blow their ultimates to either win the engagement outright or to kill enemy players one by one who then have to suffer the overtime extended respawn timer. Meaning for a defending team with strongly self-sustaining heroes, that's going to be a relatively easy engagement. Well, now that's not so easy anymore, because if that single defender tries to stall for time but is outnumbered on the point, the defenders will suffer a longer respawn until they manage to get the upper hand again. This means that the defenders actually have to put a decent amount of effort into killing the enemies rather than banking on overtime ult combos. A mid player stalling isn't gonna feel that bad anymore if nobody comes to help them for increased periods of time. And regrouping rather than getting staggered even further is gonna be that much more important for the defenders. Overall, I think they made some pretty good changes. Obviously, some things are debatable for me personally in my unique position with my unique problems, but an edge case scenario like myself should not be of concern for the devs. So I'm actually pretty happy with the changes they're doing this season, except for Bastion. Bastion seems genuinely broken to me right now, but we'll see how that plays out. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to drop me a like on your way out, subscribe if you wanna see more, and I hope to see you all next time.
Their teleporter.